How shall I describe the Keychron Q1 Pro in the smallest way possible? Well, put it this way, if you're willing to spend some money and then some more money and in return expect some top tier quality for a customizable keyboard that ironically just barely threads at the entry level of premium and customizable mechanical keyboards, that's the best way to describe this ambitious but ultimately minimalist device. And in today's video, like all our reviews, we're going to take a detailed look at the Keychron Q1 Pro to see what this keyboard has to offer and whether or not it's the right one for you. You get a very nice and chunky box, and packaging is important because it tells you what a company thinks about itself. And well, let's get into it. Remove all that protective packaging, open up the box. The first thing you notice is a super friendly and easy to read quick start guide. It's a simple brochure or pamphlet. It's clean, it's not unnecessary. Every company should make it just like this. Anyway, past some additional documentation, we get the crown jewel. Remove all that packaging, and here it is, the Keychron Q1 Pro. Whew! It's heavy, but it's also beautiful looking. More on that in just a minute. We also have the addition of a USB-C to USB-C charging cable that comes with a USB-A dongle add-on. And you also, of course, have all the key swapping accessories that come individually wrapped. And then finally, you do have a couple of spare keycaps in case you want to swap for macOS or window keys. Immediately, I love the white color tone we have with this keyboard. The entire hardware is made of CNC aluminum top to bottom, so the frame feels super premium and super nice. You also, of course, have the classic high profile keycaps and a volume knob as well, which is always a chef's kiss on any keyboard. Now on the bottom side, again, it's the same metallic exterior like I mentioned. Presumably the battery housing is beneath it, and then you'll notice you have some screws, so if you want to do some DIY stuff, you totally can over here. On the rear side, you have a few things going on. Firstly, the USB-C charging port. You also have a switch to swap between wired and Bluetooth mode. And then finally, you have a hard switch to go between Windows and Mac mode. This is again something every keyboard should have, and I'm glad it's included here. This keyboard stacks a weight of about 3.8 pounds, which makes sense given the high quality material it's rocking. Now, this wouldn't be a Keychron keyboard if we didn't have taller than Mount Everest keycaps. I mean, just look at how high these things are. Whether you like it or not is honestly going to come down to your personal preference. Now, with that said, I love the double shot PPT style keycaps here. They're oil and moisture resistant, they're thick, and they have an indent on them for maximum finger ergonomics. Additionally, of course, the font is easy to read, it's clear, and you do have secondary function labeled on the function row. Now, I also want to mention that the sharp red contrasting keys on the exterior combined with the off gray tone and of course the white keys in the center just really give this keyboard a lot of life. And of course that volume knob, it has a metallic exterior, it's tactile, and I absolutely love it. You do have full RGB backlighting on board, and all of that can be configured directly from the keyboard itself. You also have the option of full hot swappability, meaning you can replace every single individual keycap as well as the switches beneath them with any compatible 3 or 5 pin switch. The best way to describe the typing experience on this keyboard is contained. The gasket mount design combined with a little bit of natural flex on the board itself means you get fantastic shock absorption. Every keycap has minimal recoil when you're done with the keystroke, and it feels really nice. Now, I have the K Pro red switches configured over here, and they're textbook linear in my opinion. They're not too far from Gateron's own traditional red switches, so there's not a whole lot to say about them here, though I will say because of the way this keyboard is made, they feel a little bit louder than again your traditional red switch, but it's all hard to explain, so I'll just give you guys a sound test so you can see what I'm talking about. The Q1 Pro comes stacked with a 4000 milliamp hour battery. This gives you around 300 hours with all backlighting off on a single charge, which is pretty nice. Though if you do turn backlighting on to around 50% or higher brightness, based on our test, you'll get between 20 to 22 hours on a single charge. Now you do have macOS and Windows compatibility, of course, and it's worth noting that all the hotkeys and remapping can be configured via the online VIA configurator. Wow, that was a mouthful. And also, one bone I do have to pick with this keyboard is that you do not have tri-mode connectivity. So you basically have 3-profile Bluetooth and wired. You don't get 2.4 gigahertz connection, which honestly is not something that's acceptable at this price point. It's definitely a shortcoming with this keyboard. Here's my final take, guys. Keychron has done something very special here. They've made a keyboard that comes great in a pre-built state, but at the same time can also cater to DIY enthusiasts, and it also has a entry-level premium segment price. Now, granted, this is not a cheap keyboard, but this is not a cheap keyboard either, if you know what I mean. I mean, the build quality here is exceptional. That CNC aluminum body frame just looks so nice. The keycaps are double-shot PBT. The typing experience, while traditional, is super precise, and of course, all that customization means you're welcome to do with this keyboard as you will in the future, even if you get it pre-built today. And the only thing, again, I'm really nitpicking here is the lack of 2.4 gigahertz connectivity. It would have been nice to have, but if that's not an issue for you, then there's really not much else to pick about on this keyboard. It's a great premium level experience, and it has the Keychron signature features that you've come to expect. Plus, it has a volume knob. Honestly, it has a volume knob. That's all I gotta say about it, really. But all jokes aside, guys, it's a fantastic keyboard. It's one I've been using for a while, and one that I'm happy to recommend to anyone who has the budget appetite for it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and sub to our channel. It genuinely helps us grow. Catch you in the next one.